Hello, this is BIack with Redirecting. I have a very tragic story to report coming out of Chicago, where a black security guard who was detaining a gunman has been shot dead by police. This young man lost his life over a mistake. I'm going to go ahead and roll a brief clip, and I will be right back.
Developing news, a man working security killed by a suburban police officer. Tonight, his friends want to know why. CBS 2's Lauren Victory is live outside the Midlothian Police Department headquarters. Lauren?
Good evening, Jim. Lots of questions remaining tonight. Perhaps most importantly, why did those officers shoot? No one is returning my calls or emails here in Midlothian. We found out late today that it was actually this department at the center of this incident, although it happened in a different town. On the edge of Robbins, along this residential stretch, sits the unassuming Manny's Luxury Lounge.
It's a nice place, really nice and quiet.
And it's popular by several accounts, but tonight, no events or drink specials. Manny's is in a dark place.
That's why I'm trying to revive him.
After this chaotic scene posted to social media by Adam Harris.
He had somebody on the ground with his knee in his back with his gun on him, like, don't move.
He says Jamel Roberson, who was working security, was trying to stop the shooter, but an officer from Midlothian Police shot and killed Roberson.
He was just protecting the club and holding the suspect down.
The 26-year-old died at the hospital.
What was the thought process of the officer?
Definitely the wrong guy.
Friends say Roberson worked at Manny's to pay the bills his gospel music career couldn't.
He'll be remembered not just by pastors, but by young children who looked up to him.
Roberson was also gearing up to take his test to become a police officer.
The very people that he wanted to be family with took his life.
So, was it an accident? Any of my inquiries are being deferred at this point to state and county investigators. I'm Lauren Victory reporting live in Midlothian, CBS 2 News. Back to you.
Okay, as you see in the clip, this was a very tragic situation that has unfolded. I am going to read some of the article that is associated with this clip and continue on from there. This black security guard was shot dead by police as a gunman was held down at the bar where he worked. Jamel Robinson, 26 years old, was working early Sunday at Manny's Blue Room, a bar in the predominantly black Chicago suburbs of Robbins, Illinois, when a patron who was part of a drunken group that had been kicked out returned with a gun at 4 a.m. and opened fire, according to the Chicago Sun. Several people were shot. Robertson, who was armed at the time, grabbed one of the men, held him down, and waited for police, according to witnesses. He had somebody on the ground with his knee in the back, with his gun in the back, like, don't move. But witnesses said Robertson became the victim as soon as police arrived. A responding officer with the Midlothian Police Department immediately shot Robertson, who later died at the hospital. Harris said the officer shot an innocent man and that people on the scene tried to warn the police that Robertson was a security guard. Everybody was screaming out, "Security!" He was a security guard. And they still did, well, it says they still did their job. And saw a black man with a gun and basically killed him. Okay, I'm not going to read all of the article. If I remember, I will leave the link in the bottom. But as you see, even a black man doing his job is subject to this type of violence. He was doing his job. He was the hero. He was protecting everyone else. But he was shot dead by police. They no longer assess situations. They just show up. And if you are black and you're in the way, then you're guilty in their eyes. This is a very sad, very unfortunate situation, yet again, that is happening against our people. So much can be said about this family. So much can be said. We cannot grow numb to these things to the point where we're used to hearing them. We still must cry out for our people, cry out to the Most High for deliverance. Those of you who don't understand what I am talking about, please understand that these things are happening for a reason. It has been prophesied. The Bible is not lying. These people despise us, and every day we are seeing their actions against us. There is something that must be done. We as a people have got to understand that no longer can we sit and think that what we are doing is going to continue to work. There has got to be repentance. When I talk about repentance, some of you can't deal with that because you're saying to yourself, but this isn't fair. I know what you mean. I understand. I'm not saying that it is fair. I'm just telling you why it is happening. The only solution for us is repentance and crying out to our Father, because we are outgunned and outnumbered. I've said this many times before. And some of you think that if we all come together, that's not going to happen. Most of us don't even like each other. Why do we have to continuously say that? Most of us don't like each other. We can't stand each other. We are not on one accord. There's no cohesion, no togetherness. Most of us side with our enemy. So what do you think is going to do when you try to rally us all together? It is just going to result in more bloodshed that is not in your favor. But if we understood the power of prayer, the Most High will begin to amp up his judgment, and begin to pour out in a way that we have never seen before. These stories continue to be more and more sad and hard to deal with, hard to even talk about, hard to even focus on. Sometimes you just want to go on an island somewhere and just kick your feet up, should I say, and just forget that these things are happening. But that is not possible, family. We must continue to cry aloud and spare not, whether you want to hear it or not. Some of you, I understand the solution that you have, the desire to want to just react, but it gets you nowhere when you look at reality. I know some of you think that that's a docile mentality to take. But when you really analyze what most of us think the solution is, it's not even possible. It is not even possible. There's not even enough of our people that could even win a street fight, much less any type of physical war with these other nations. But when you read in the book of Jeremiah, it talked about how our enemies were approaching us, and we began to praise the Most High, and they got so confused by the praise that they turned on each other, and we didn't have to lift a finger. Let that sink in for a minute. Shalom, family. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.